ספיישל התוכנית ה-500 של יצפן מחר ב-9:30, מוקדם מכרגיל, לא ב-10, כמו בכל יום. אחר כך
תלונה על הטרדה שהגיש נגדה חברה לשעבר. החבר התלונן כי לוי הטרידה אותו בשיחות טלפון רבות. החוקרים סיפרו שתוך כדי החקירה היא החלה להרביץ לשוטרים ואף ניסתה לברוח. הערב היא שוחררה בערבות.
מכבי חיפה הודיעה רשמית שלא תצרף את אייל ברקוביץ' לקבוצה.
South America rules, baby, yeah!
Yeah, it rules as some of the worst Argentinian wipeouts we've seen in a long time. We love a good wipeout. Especially when it involves a bike, a little dirt, and those goofy bicycle pants.
Five points over the bars.
There's just so many different ways you can eat it on a bike. Watch for your favorite. This one happens to be ours. The rider eats it, and some lucky fan gets to go home with a new bike. Oh yeah! The guy writhing on the ground in pain is extreme dirt biker Neil Womer.
Ankles, dude, are hurting so bad.
All right, relax.
What put him here? Neil was invited to be part of a film being shot by an extreme sports company. These dudes are jumping their bikes about 100 feet.
We did a practice session to see how the jumps were throwing us and how our bikes were running. Basically to test everything out before we were doing it for the film.
Everything was going well, until Neil's last practice jump.
You all right? Oh, my... You all right, brother?
Both my legs are
Hurt?
Both my legs are numb.
Yeah, new
Both my legs from here down.
Oh, bro, what up?
Ah!
New guy.
You bought him out?
He jumped off. Jumped.
Here's that wipeout in slow motion.
I realized I was in trouble immediately when I took off from the jump. I had about 3.5 seconds of airtime to react. And that's not very much time for anyone to think of a life or death situation.
Again, frame by frame. Shortly after takeoff, it appears that the front wheel's starting to turn sharply to the right, pulling Neil off course. Struggling to maintain control, he decides to bail, and he's heading feet first toward the ground at about 60 miles an hour.
I felt the best and the safest way was to get the bike as far away from me as possible, because the bike causes more harm than actually Mother Earth.
Not this time. Mother Earth can be real nasty.
You all right?
The impact shattered both of Neil's ankles.
Oh, my... You all right, brother?
Both my legs are
Hurt?
Both my legs are numb.
Neil's bones had to be bolted back together. It took months for him to heal. Check out these souvenirs of his wipeout.
A lot of people ask me when they come to my house if these are pieces from my bike. Actually, all of this came out of my legs.
Once again, no better feeling than flying.
You all right?
Until you make that tough landing.
Oh, my... You all right, brother?
both my legs are
Hurt?
When you're inside a barrel, that's a whole different feeling. It's the closest thing that I've had to a religious experience.
Welcome to the High Church of Wipeouts. When these monsters break, it's like having a wall of concrete crashing down on you.
You're scared every time you're surfing in big waves. It's almost like a euphoric kind of fear. You feel like you don't want to go anywhere else. This is right on the edge of life and death.
And if they don't kill you, they can damage you real good.
There's been many times when I've fallen on a wave and felt like I don't know what's going to happen to me. Usually when I do that, I just crouch up into a little ball and cover my head and just prepare for the worst.
Big wave surfing takes big-time nerves and a big-time tolerance of pain. Hey, this ain't surfing. This is survival. And the home of Major League wipeouts. You're hitting it hard with Max X. Coming up, a Canadian takes the fall, eh? Houston, we have a problem. A New Yorker puts his back into it. And if that doesn't have you reaching for an ice pack, keep it right here for our Max X list of wipeouts. Max X, we got your back. You're down with Max X. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, ignition. We have liftoff. But unfortunately, it's a boat.
The boat was designed to never blow over.
Yeah, that was the idea, Ken. Ken Dryden and his crew thought they'd really hit on something when they designed the Miss Eland. Earlier, in one of the qualifying heats of the Seattle Seafair Hydro race, the Miss Bud boat ate it. Ken thought it could never happen to him. This is Ken's last qualifying run. He needs to win. He's got his boat up to about 160 miles an hour. Suddenly, the boat does what it's not supposed to do. It takes off and launches more than 100 feet in the air. Again in slow motion from Ken's point of view.
We came out of the corner and started down the back chute. We hit a couple big rollers there. The boat just accelerates off the water, and it's like taking off in a fighter jet.
You got that right, Ken.
The impact is just like falling off of a 10-story building and hitting the concrete. When the boat hit the water, you see the front of the boat severed. The driver's cockpit actually split right in front of my hips. The rescue divers grabbed the front of the cockpit, rotated back around so they could free my leg, get me out.
Ken was busted up really bad. 3 broken vertebrae, 2 broken legs, 2 broken ankles. He spent 4 months in a wheelchair. Ken's walking now, but this wipeout ended his hydro boat racing career. This guy doesn't know it, but his jet ski's about to experience a mechanical failure that will prevent him from being able to control the steering. And on this show, that can only mean one thing. Again in slow motion. The jet ski slams into the side of the boat, and this dude's cartwheeling through the sky. One more time, frame by frame. The jet ski approaches the boat. Now watch what this guy does. He knows he's gonna eat it, so he actually leaps into the air. Check out how close his head comes to smashing into the boat. Whoa, just misses. He went into a killer wipeout and only came out with a few bruises. Come on, who says Canada's boring? These Canadian guys own the street, and they're rocking out. Rob Inrig is doing a few extreme bike stunts, and he's pretty good. He sticks the first jump. Feeling cocky, he's gonna do it again. Let her rip, Rob! Oh yeah, nice wipeout. Again in slow motion. He flies down the hill. The bike goes airborne, and he wipes out. Again, slow motion and frame by frame. Rob gains speed. He leaps, he appears to have the height to clear the railing. But right here, his rear wheel clips the railing, and Rob's eating pavement. Note to dudes in Canada, helmets are available. Put them on your head.
I'm okay.
Rob dislocated his shoulder. So what's he learned?
If you're going to be doing stunts like this that are dangerous, maybe it's a good idea to wear some body protection and be sure that you know what you're doing and accept the risks you are taking and accept the consequences that you may face afterwards.
Take it from a man who knows his wipeouts. New York Central Park. That's about 50 feet of cold, hard steel. If you're a blader, real cold and real hard. Jonathan Ortiz thinks he can ride this rail all the way down. Well, he can't. He's in some serious pain.
There were a bunch of the other skaters around that were watching this at the same time. Their initial reaction, they were like screaming and yelling and telling everybody not to touch him, and I screamed, don't touch him.
Neil's friends don't listen, and they move him to comfort him. Here's that wipeout again in slow motion. Jonathan loses it about halfway down the handrail. He goes soaring through the air and does a face plant in the sidewalk. Let's see what went wrong. Jonathan has nice form. Everything's going well until right here. Jonathan tries to switch feet. He loses balance, and then he goes flying. Now watch the landing. Jonathan hits the concrete face first. His body bends backwards, and his skates smash him in the head. Need an ambulance? Yeah. I went for it? Yeah. Amazingly, Jonathan suffered no head, neck, or spinal cord injuries. Nastiest, hurtingest falls of all time. Our Max X list of wipeouts. We're back with the worst wipeouts we've ever seen. It's X-List time. Coming in at number 3. Give a quick shout out to all the older folks in your house and tell them to hurry in, because they'll hate what we're about to show you. Professional skater Chris Edwards is going to try to leap over that railing and land on the street below. There he goes. He's up. He's down. Again, slower. This dude doesn't even come close to clearing the railing. Here's a slow motion look from another angle. You can see that right here, Chris's left skate clips the railing, and he puts his arms out to break his fall. So what happens after a fall like that?
This is why they tell you not to come up here.
People think you're an idiot.
Okay? You okay?
You gotta be kidding me, man. That's about as insane as it gets. That's not extreme, that's stupid. Just beyond.
Well, if he would have made it, he probably would have clapped.
Who cares if he made it?
Yeah, well, that's up. It's all relative, though. That's his lifestyle. It's true.
My lifestyle was living, man. Okay?
That's almost dying, right?
Living. Been there, seen it, done it.
This wipeout broke Chris's left wrist and shattered his right elbow.
You have an ambulance on the way?
I don't know.
Forget the ambulance. Chris's buds are going to take him to the hospital. You gotta love what happens at the hospital.
I know.
They asked Chris to sign in, even though both arms are busted up.
Can't sign nothing when I got their broken arm.
Good old American healthcare. And the wipeouts keep on coming. Number 2 on the X list. That's Daredevil Seth Enslow. He hopes to set a new ramp-to-ramp record by jumping his motorcycle more than 200 feet. Now, if he comes up short, he'll crash into one of those 60 Harley-Davidson motorcycles parked between the ramps. And he's off! Will he clear the Harleys? He made it! So where's the wipeout? Ah, here it is. Seth ain't moving. This looks bad. Let's roll the tape back and see the crash in slow motion. You can see that Seth has the height and distance to easily clear the Harleys. He smacks onto the ramp at 80 miles an hour. The bike crumbles. Then it's Skid City. Seth lies motionless for a few minutes. But then he's up on his feet and he's celebrating a new world record of 229 feet. Here's that wipeout in Seth's words.
The bike, when I landed, snapped, the triple clamp snapped off, and the front fender snapped off, and the wheel kind of was still spinning and hit me in the face. Broke the visor off my helmet, gave me a fat lip, and then I just went over the bars and just tumbled, and luckily the bike didn't run over me, and it kind of slid next to me for 50 feet or so. My lifetime goal is to jump 300 feet, which is a football field.
Don't worry, Seth. Max X will be waiting for that one. And here's the heavy hitter on the X list. The worst wipeout we've ever seen. This is a tough Spanish man. And what do you think put him in this wheelchair? Was it A, a mad bull? B, a jealous lover? C, a barroom brawl? Or D, none of the above? The answer is D, none of the above. It was actually this. Firefighters in Spain are conducting a rescue training session. Two of them are tied to a cable attached to a chopper. And it's about to get ugly. Slow motion look at that horrifying accident. The chopper just starts to lift the firefighters when the cable snaps, and they plunge 200 feet down the mountain. Amazingly, the firefighters survived, were treated for injuries, and both were back home within 2 weeks. Take the risk, pay the price. Maximum exposure. Wipeout.